and welcome everybody to another episode of the SEA Wheels podcast, where I'm not sounding very enthusiastic today, but I'm happy to be here.
When are you sounding enthusiastic? Hi everyone.
Usually so, yeah.
I don't really give a damn about this podcast. I'm actually looking for a cable, USB 3 cable for my Oculus Rift.
What are you looking
Quest. For the USB 3. I don't have a USB 3 cable to plug my Quest 2 into my computer. So I do have some frame drops. I don't know if it's related.
5-meter USB 3 with a right angle cable, so you can actually plug it in and not walk into your cable.
Okay.
Don't buy the Oculus one at all.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me, right? It's really expensive.
Yeah, it's a fiber cable, right? And people go, "Oh, that's really good." Except the problem is the speeds are so similar to just basic copper. It's like, why would you pay double?
Isn't USB 3 with a fiber optic anyway?
I don't know. Don't care.
Okay,
but I don't.
Let's get it on.
Yeah.
IMOLA.
Julian, please tell us what happened at IMOLA.
It was good. There was a race.
Yes. Okay. Maybe a bit more
And it was
information
good.
than that.
It was really good. Well, wet race, right? So started wet and was wet throughout. I mean, at least the first half.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think you got branded here. You got whipped, man. Yeah, you got branded.
All right. Oh, I see. Is that what she was doing in the room? She put her name in the background.
Yes. Yeah.
It's changed from Barbie.
And so no, overall a great race. Lots of things happening. It seems far away already. It's a week ago, but seems far away. I think it started really with the qualifying, and I think
which was really exciting.
Really exciting, yes, really exciting qualifying, and at the same time, they were really, really hard on the track limits. So yeah, that was what was really
well.
Big.
Speaking of that again, I mean, we spoke about track limits last week in great detail, which probably put everyone to sleep because, let's be fair, the discussion about track limits is not exactly the most exciting thing to talk about, right? But it was really interesting. I was shocked when I was watching qualifying. I was watching Lando Norris go for his run, and I was seeing purple sector, and then he qualified third. But the problem is then Lando Norris, and then they got his lap time deleted.
Second, was it? At the time,
yeah,
he would have ended up third, but I think when he did make that magical lap, he ended up being second, and then it was discarded, but he would have eventually ended up third.
Yeah, but the thing with that is I was like bummed out by that. I was like, oh man, I'm because I was looking at him going, whoa, purple, another purple, and then it would have been nice to see him on the front row. The problem was that when I watched Verstappen's qualifying lap, it looked like he went off on turn 9 as well. That was the thing, because I was watching Lando Norris's lap, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, that's borderline. And then then they showed Verstappen's qualifying lap, and I'm like, hang on, that was the same. I think he did the same. What? Maybe I'm just. I mean, I was drunk in a pub while I was watching it. But... It was
turn 9, right? Wasn't it? Yeah. I think you probably were shit-faced again. Yes, because Lando's didn't make it. Yeah, there was no doubt. Right, it's just like you can't. Verstappen, I'm not sure. Maybe you watched a replay of when another time was deleted. Another time, I mean, during maybe free practice or something like this. But no, his lap was good.
Yeah. No, I just I think I'm gonna have to rewatch it again, because now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of like bugging me that because I was sitting there going, I swear I saw Verstappen's lap, and it was like he like didn't. Yeah, to me it just looked like he ran off as well at turn 9. Unless it was like a previous lap of his.
And it probably was. I think that's what you saw, probably. But yeah, the order was really interesting. I mean, Lewis Hamilton in front. So again, great performance, because seriously, Mercedes was not there the whole weekend. And then Sergio Perez in front of Max Verstappen. I think it's like the first time Verstappen is out qualified since like Ricciardo 2019 or 18 or something or whatever.
I mean, that was pretty interesting to see that. I mean, I was really happy, but the other thing is Perez had a shocking race.
Unfortunately, I mean, you know what? Hamilton had a shocking race as well.
You know what? He would not have finished first if that fucking Bottas-Russell crash didn't happen.
Let's get into that.
All right. So,
straight into that.
All I've been hearing is that, since the crash was like arguments.
Russell will drive a Clio.
But arguments about who was at fault, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And then just yesterday, the voice of reason stepped in, Jeremy Clarkson. You know? And he's...
explain that. Yeah,
so I saw on the Drive Tribe Instagram page. So they posted like a Twitter... like a Twitter conversation on Instagram, like a screenshot. And basically it said something along the lines of the straight, which is really that tiny kink at the end of the straight at Imola is scary shit. Essentially something like that. And then what ended up happening was somebody responded and went, "Oh, come on, sorry." He said 190 miles an hour at the kink at the straight at Imola is scary shit. And then somebody said, "Oh, come on," because you remember in one of their trips, they went to Imola with all their supercars. And the person said, "Oh, come on, you've never been 190 in that Aventador. The straight's not long enough." And then Jeremy Clarkson replied and went, "I was doing 193.
198.
198, yeah, that's it.
But try to reproduce that on the rig with the Oculus.
We did. So yesterday I tried. I jumped in on...
That's with the Aventador SV as well.
I went into
Assetto Corsa, right?
I went into Assetto Corsa, picked the Aventador SV, jumped into Imola, and I don't know what was wrong with me yesterday. I couldn't keep a car straight at all. Like, I was like, what the fuck's going on?
You were shit-faced.
Maybe. I can't remember.
Maybe from the night before, or from the night later.
Well, see, we'll get into that later. But
in anticipation of the night.
Well, we were drinking beforehand, but the problem was I didn't. I did drink last night, but I didn't get drunk. Have you ever had those nights where you just drinking and then nothing happens?
Well, we've had that a few times. Remember, like 3 bottles of vodka in 2 days.
Oh yeah, and we're just like.
The first one we were, the second time we're like, the following morning was bad, but
But that being said, I couldn't keep any car straight, let alone the Aventador, because normally I'm running the GT3 cars on there because race car, right? And then,
but they're okay.
And I kept having to go around the track and looping the damn thing, but eventually I got to a decent speed, so I managed to get onto the main straight at least 100 k's an hour. And what was it? Did I say I got to like 278 k's an hour by the time I hit the kink? I was taking horrible lines as well because I couldn't. I don't know the track well enough to know where it's going. So I'm like, I got to 278. So I was like at what, 175 miles an hour, 178 miles an hour I hit. And I'm like, shit, I've still got a while to go before I can match Clarkson's old ass.
True. But I think, I don't know if it's possible to get to that speed, though, at that corner. Like the one he was describing. Yeah. I think it's maybe a bit over-exaggerated. But anyway.
This is a very convoluted way of saying it was a racing incident. You don't think?
Yeah, yes, it's a racing incident, but it's still very interesting to see the reaction of both drivers at the end, knowing that they're basically kind of competing for the same seat next year.
They blamed each other. You know, they really blamed each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it was quite funny to see how both of them just like really tore into each other and were like, the fuck is this guy doing? And all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I know Jeremy Clarkson's comment was kind of passing, but I think that genuinely was the most rational comment I've actually heard.
Wait, which kink is it? It's the one just at the exit of the pits, right? That slight right.
Yeah, no, it's a slight left.
Or the left.
So because the
slight left, the slight left is actually you have to brake.
Yeah.
Because you're in third, right?
No, much
at
higher
the next corner.
Oh yeah, in a GT car, yeah, you're in third.
And yeah, coming back to this, that's why I like to drive normal cars, because the GT cars are a bit easier to drive.
Yeah.
So when you get back into those, I was driving on Assetto Corsa this morning. I really enjoyed driving, the Aventador, the F40, the Kunta. You know, all those cars are just so much fun.
Yeah.
To drive, and especially with manual gearbox. So I had a good time doing this morning in VR.
But that's the thing with like playing on IMOLA. Like, I know the track, but I don't know, because I take massive gaps. Like, I'll be like racing every day for 2 weeks, and then I didn't jump in the sim for like a month. You know?
Yeah, same.
And then I got the Oculus, and I'm like, I got to try this, and then it was just like every day I'm in the sim again.
But I went. So what I did this morning? Which car was it that I actually went around the Nürburgring? Endurance track. So the longest track, basically.
Yeah.
The endurance 24 hours, I think it is. Anyway, went around that track with manual gearbox.
Yeah.
In VR. I was quite happy. Yeah, I didn't go anywhere outside the line or anything like this. Kept it on the black stuff.
Yeah.
The whole time. So I was quite satisfied.
I find I drive so much better in VR.
Well, the thing is, you can actually see the apex a bit better, and the elevation is great in VR. You can actually see elevation, because you don't really see it or feel it when on a flat screen, I guess. So
yeah, because it's really funny, because the car moves but your head doesn't, so then you have to lift your head, and it's just like, and it comes down and you're like, it's just it's wild. You know what was really disorienting though? When I was running around in a Ginetta on Project Cars, and I accidentally touched the change camera function, and it's like my body had some weird reaction. I'm like, suddenly I'm flying, and I'm like, what the hell? It was the weirdest sensation, because I'm like, what? But yeah, man. So if you guys haven't realized yet, Julian and I have actually just both bought VR headsets within a few days of each other.
Yeah, and I was wondering whether the USB 3 cable would make a difference. Because
do you have problems with it wirelessly?
I haven't used it wirelessly, actually.
Oh, really?
I mean, to play on the PC.
So you use wired with the PC?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I use virtual desktop, and I run wirelessly. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is it's so funny, because version 2.8 update came out, is being pushed at the moment, and apparently they've got something called AirLink as part of it now, which means it's a native, because virtual desktop is not native. You've got to pay for it, but it's so you can actually natively play wireless.
All right, you have the money, man. I don't, so yeah. Play with the wire, man.
But you know, I can highly recommend, if the camera will focus, Oculus Quest 2.
Yeah, it changes the whole. It's a game changer, I would say, because it's just. I mean, I realize that it's when I see it and when I see the quality of it outside PC games, huh?
Yeah.
I'm just talking, like standalone. It feels a little bit like 8-bit, comeback NES sort of thing, right? It's great and all that. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the demos and all of that, it's all wired things and all of this, graphics, but maybe they didn't put so much efforts into it. I don't know. But then once you start, playing around with it, and kind of try to start to get used to it, then that Half-Life Alex is just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable how fluid it is, how good it is.
I can't get over how good that game is. Like Half-Life Alex.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really, so really good, isn't it? Do you play sitting or do you play standing, by the way? And we'll get back to Formula 1 at some stage. But yeah, I mean, this is actually, very exciting also. Yeah, sitting, sorry?
Yeah, I play standing.
Standing, okay.
Yeah. Because with Alex, right? Do you play seated?
Well, the thing is, I was playing on my racing gear, on the rig.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, because I was just trying it, right? I didn't go too far into it or anything like this. Ended up spending 2 hours on it, but in the rig. But yeah, I'm thinking that I should, and that's why wirelessly actually interests me, because I can actually get out of the room.
Yeah.
Don't need to move anything. I can keep the computer on and everything, but then just redefine the gaming area in the living room where I have a lot of room.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like as we were talking before the podcast, I'm actually moving to a much bigger apartment, and I'm actually going to have a lot more room overall. But I've got a lot of room for VR, and like for Half-Life Alex, it's going to be so good because, man, like. I mean, you're playing it seated, but when you're playing it standing, it's just totally different because, like, you're ducking, you're like, those head crabs that attack you? When they jump at you, you can actually, like, move out of the way and they miss you. And, like, and it's so frantic because you know how you've got to reload? Like, you've got to get, a clip out of your backpack and then, like, drop the other clip, load, cock the gun and then start firing again. It's just so nuts to play, dude.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm refueling. It's the old style Formula 1 pit stops with refueling.
Yeah, but man, sorry, we're really carrying on at the moment about like non-related stuff, but I mean it started off related.
Yes. I mean, just playing Assetto Corsa in VR is really, really good. I was just wondering if you think that there would be a difference playing with a USB 3 click cable rather than a USB 2 cable, which is what I have at the moment. Will that make a difference at all?
I don't know, because the problem at the moment is... So you've been able to play with a USB cable, have you?
Yeah.
The problem I have is... there's been an AMD update. So I'm running an AMD 4000 series chip, and they've done an update or something to the... I don't know if it's firmware or whatever it is, but there's some kind of stability issue where it'll recognize it and then just drop out and come back in and drop out and come back in. That's why I just... Like, even though... Where's the cable I got? Oh, yeah. Even though I got this, like, huge cable for, like... so I don't get latency and stutters, I just ended up going to like Wi-Fi. And it works fine. I mean, when I'm playing like the racing games in particular, I get stutters. I've had like 2. And I've done a lot of laps and races.
No, I've had a couple as well.
So even with wired, it's there?
Even with the wire, yeah.
So I don't know if it's the quality's better or worse. I've got no idea because I haven't tried it. But for me, it works well. I only had one problem yesterday because we were going out for dinner yesterday, and while I was waiting for Roro to get ready, I was just playing in. I was in Sim, and for some reason in Assetto Corsa, like I don't know what happened. Like the headset got lost in terms of spatially. So even though like the view was in the cockpit, it looked like I was sitting on the roof of the car. So I was like, yeah, and I didn't bother to go in deeper into it because I was like, well, I'm gonna have to go soon anyway. So after this podcast, we might give it a go and just jump into Project Cars or something and just have a few races.
Yeah, the thing is, I've got those TLM. I don't remember what they're called. Those pedals for Thrustmaster, right? And yeah, they don't work so well with Project Cars actually. So I was thinking maybe we should try Automobilista.
Yeah.
Let me see how much that costs here. And talking about Thrustmaster, and to have a nice tangent back onto the main subject, have you seen their latest F1 wheel? Tell me about
the
this.
SF1000.
Yes, sir.
Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that wheel nice?
It's unbelievable.
So guys, unfortunately, because this is kind of, we're trying to run a new setup, I can't do share screen, but there's a new wheel, and for Thrustmaster, it's compatible with T300 RS, and I don't know what else.
I think the T series, yeah.
But Automobilista's on sale. It's $59. I might grab it.
Why is it so expensive, yours?
I don't know. Well, see,
I've got the first price. The first price I have is 469 baht. So I think that's $20, maybe $25.
Yeah, I don't know why mine's so expensive.
And then they have some packs though. That's the thing.
Yeah. What's the version I'm looking at? Oh, hang on. Ultimate Edition.
Well, that's the thing. There's so many different versions of it.
Oh shit! There's so many. $177. Holy shit!
Isn't there like a button where buy everything?
Yeah. So Automobilista 2, VR supported, and then you've got content for this game, and it's like $15. So you've got the Spa-Frankenshop pack, the Nürburgring pack, the Silverstone pack, the Hockenheim pack. And I don't know.
Oh my god! Those are all the tracks that are just so great.
And what the hell? 2020 to 2022 season pass is $139. What the hell is that?
It's 1,000 baht, yeah. 1,100 baht, yeah. Not too sure. Ultimate Edition. Ultimate Edition does have everything, right?
But that's with... see, the thing, I'm looking at that as well. And it says Automobilista plus Automobilista 2. So that's both games.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Is there anybody watching who can actually tell us?
I don't know. I got a new phone, so I don't actually...
new apartment, new phone, new cable.
Yeah.
Quite the spender.
No. You know, I had to get a new phone because the last one wouldn't charge anymore. Like the port at the bottom, there's something wrong with it. So I'd plug a cable in and nothing would happen. So I'd wake up in the morning and it was like 3% battery, and I'm like, okay, time for a new phone.
Are you sure it wasn't the battery?
No, the cable, you know, where you plug in. It's just worn out. But the amazing thing about this new phone, and this is why you would always make fun of me, is about range anxiety.
Ah, yes.
This phone, I'll use it all day and I'll still have like 25% charge, you know?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day. And I've been using this pretty heavily today and I'm still at 70%, you know, and
I'm at 11%, man.
Shut up.
It's only half day.
This has moved so far away from a car podcast. At the moment.
I tried to bring it back with the F1 wheel from Thrustmaster. That is just amazing with like that digital
screen,
display and all functional buttons, which is not what we have on the on the Formula One.
Yeah. Do you know what the only I love it for like a vanity purchase thing. The problem I do have with this wheel is that now that I'm running in now that I'm running VR, I'm like, I'll never see the screen.
Precisely, and that brings us nicely, because I knew you wouldn't be able to bring it back to Formula One. So that brings us nicely to the latest news from the Direct Drive. What's that company again?
Fanatec.
The Fanatec Direct Drive for 350 euros.
The new hub. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, Mike, yeah, it's actually, the thing is, I was looking at the video you sent me, the review you sent me, right?
Yeah.
It's only 5 to 8 Newton meters. So at the end of the day, it's actually not the force itself. It might be more direct, so quicker, but it's not any stronger than the belt-driven versions that we have right now.
Thing. You and me are both running T300 RS hubs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those hubs are only like 2.5 Newton meters. So it's still double.
5 to 8, actually, yeah, so it can be more. I think I'd like to go to something. I'm just waiting, actually, for the Direct Drive. I'm really glad that Fanatec is going into it. I just want it to be a bit more mainstream, because I'm sorry, guys out there, but I don't want to spend all my time trying to adjust all the settings all the time.
Yeah,
for me, a game, it's just jump into it. It's got the presets that I can change. I don't mind, changing the presets, but if I have so many other things to do, with Direct Drive, you have actually additional software that you need to put on top of, and that's where.
That's why
it's a bit too fiddly for me.
I'm so happy with the Thrustmaster wheel.
Yeah, because it's kind of plug and play, really.
Yeah,
most games have presets.
Like Logitech, is the big streamer wheel at the moment, right? Well, actually, no, it's not. Like McLaren have all the teams have now got virtual racing drivers, and the big thing there is that they all run Logitech, which is, I had a Logitech wheel, right?
Me too.
Wasn't bad.
I had a couple.
The G28 or 29, I think it was.
Yeah, I had the GT Force.
It wasn't bad, but this Thrustmaster, to me, is so much better. It feels smoother because you don't have teeth trying to.
Well, it's belt versus gears, yeah.
Yeah.
Logitech is gears, so that's the problem. And I must say, for me, what really also got me and sold me on the Thrustmaster is the pedals. So the TCLM, whatever, the ones that I have right now, which are very nice because they're load cells on the brake.
Oh yeah, you've got the hydraulic. Yeah.
It's not the hydraulic; it's spring, but you can actually just change them, to get exactly the pressure that you want.
Yeah.
The gear is amazing quality. The gear shift, the shifter.
I haven't bought it yet. Is it worth it?
It's when you want the experience to drive those old cars, which I love to do. You like GT cars, right? So for you like things that are modern. So paddle shift is fine. For me, I love to go around the track with an old car, and I just enjoy that. And then I like drifting as well. So I've got that. Which you can actually switch from sequential to the handbrake to sequential, which is also really, really good, really high quality. It's a Sparko together with Thrustmaster, and it's really, really good.
Okay. The one thing I really like about the T300s is the fact that I can, like you said, I think you nailed it, is all the add-ons. Right, I think the next add-on I'm gonna get, and I'm gonna look at it, and it's fucking hellishly expensive here. It's like $700 to get here in Indonesia, but I'm gonna get that. Have you seen the open wheel steering wheel? So the open wheel racer steering wheel.
No, I haven't. You can share your screen with this app. Do you know, right?
Yeah, but I can't. It won't come up on the screen.
I've got the Spark. So I've got 3 wheels. I've got the F1 wheel, the standard one, and I've got the Sparko.
Holy shit! It isn't. It's only $350 or $450, depending where you buy it. Let me see if I can find it. Let me show it to you, because And sorry for the people on stream, you won't be able to see it, but I'm thinking about this wheel because it looks really cool. Hang on, how do I share screen? Here we go.
Yeah, but VR, man, VR.
Yeah, but it's still for VR. This is why I'm not thinking about getting the SF1. Oh shit, I just lost my screen. Oh no, my whole computer's frozen.
We can still hear you.
No, like I've lost everything.
No, but the upside is that we don't have to see you.
Okay.
No, actually, we can see. I mean, I can still see you right now.
Like my camera and everything's moving?
Yeah. On the top right of the screen, I've lost. Okay, so now it's coming. Seems to be loading.
Holy shit! I thought we just lost the stream. All right, but this is. I mean, for Julian, like you can see, this is the wheel. You know. This is the wheel.
Oh yeah. No, I've seen it. I've seen it before.
And as now, because I think I prefer VR because I feel like I drive a lot better. The one thing I always fucked up in
you feel like a hero, right, in VR. But I think if we really compare times, I haven't compared times because I haven't had the time. But I still think that we might still be faster. Have you compared your times?
No, I haven't.
Before and after?
No, I haven't.
I feel a bit slow. I feel I'm a bit slower. I'm probably better on the brakes, but still a bit slower.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the one thing, I think, you know what I think it is? It's more immersion now. So
yeah,
you're starting to really think heavily about.
Let's get the ultimate package of Automobilista, and then
No, but I think that's Automobilista 1 and 2. You know.
What do you mean?
It gives you both, like Automobilista 1 and Automobilista 2.
The Ultimate Edition?
Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's what it does.
Okay, bundle info. Okay, you're right. Fuck.
That's why I just get the normal one and then happy days.
Because it's Automobilista and Automobilista Season Pass for all DLCs. That's the thing. But no, we want to play the second.
Yeah, because I don't know if
Opus.
I don't know if Automobilista 1 is VR compatible.
Well, it is saying that VR supported. Yeah, no, you're right. It might not be. It's only Automobilista 2.
Yeah. Oh, let's just
grab. Man, it's 469 baht. Sorry, I want to just
I mean, I'm looking at here and I can see a CLK GTR. I'm already like, yeah, okay, time to buy.
Yeah, but you need to. It's probably a part of a DLC, or is that part of the standard buy?
You can race trucks, motherfucker.
Nice.
It's truck racing.
Nice.
I like it.
Okay, so 469 baht. I don't have Australian dollar here. It's basically 15 USD.
Yeah, wow, okay.
I don't understand why it's so expensive for you.
Well,
you
you're in the Thai store. You're using the Thai store. I'm using the Indonesian.
Why don't you use the Indonesian? Oh, you are.
Well, this is the problem. Like, the Indonesian government's pretty restrictive here, so you don't know what's available and what's not available, you know?
Okay. So, Automobilista... Items included in the bundle is the season pass. I don't understand what the season pass is.
I don't know either because I don't play the game. So, and the season pass individually is like $139. So,
at some stage we do have to try iRacing, the free version.
There's a free version?
I think yes, you can play like the very basic class. You can play for free, I think.
Okay.
I used to be, but a long time ago. Because I played iRacing, but yeah, I don't know. Like at the very beginning, I guess, when it really looked ugly compared to all the games these days of that time. Anyway.
Oh, you motherfucker!
I played Vroom.
F1 2021 comes out in July.
Ah, I thought it was August. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 17th of July comes out.
Only VR is supported. That's the only reason why I would buy it.
I'm looking here now. VR is not supported.
So no, won't get it.
Yeah.
Because it's that good. VR is that fun, guys.
Yeah.
So
Bottas and Russell,
IMOLA.
huge diversion here. I think the best way to put it is it was definitely a racing incident. I think, Jeremy Clarkson's comment really put it in perspective for me, where he said, all right, the kink at the end of the straight is scary shit at 190 miles an hour. And for Bottas, granted, he did leave a car length, but to get around that first chicane, you are going wide. You are going all the way right, hook in left.
Well, the thing is at those speeds as well, I mean, despite, having all the downforce in the world, when you start braking, which gives you stability.
In a wet line.
You have to, exactly as you said, you have to go wide because the next turn is a left anyway. So for me, he was really taking, and how much, how little I don't know. I'm very neutral when it comes to Bottas. Probably a bit more on the negative side, actually. So, for me, he was just taking this. I just don't understand how Russell thought that there was space here, and then for me, his reaction was quite revealing of the state of mind he was in.
Who, Bottas
by
or
saying
Russell?
by accusing Bottas right after the incident, saying, if it was any other driver, he wouldn't have shut the door the way or squeezed the way he did, right? Because kind of, implying that he almost beat him last season as a replacement for Hamilton. That all that kind of really calculating, bad. They're really not bringing, like, shining a good light on the sportsmanship that we expect from Formula One drivers. I feel like he was really coming from a bad place when he said something like this, and that's why I'm really on that side, more on the Bottas camp, let's say. But I agree with you; it's a racing incident. But in my view, it's not 50-50. It's really 60-40, and 60 is Russell. He saw an opening. Yeah, he saw an opening that wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean,
and then again, he's a younger driver as well. I mean,
I don't agree.
He's a seasoned driver. But
yeah, I mean, I look at it this way, and I would say Russell took an opening that was there, but on a wet line, and that's where the problem was.
Well, he put wheels on the grass, so he felt squeezed.
I mean, you can hear the replay. You can hear the engine revs. He's driving and then goes, wow, it just screams, and it's just like, he really messed up there.
Yeah, he messed up. So that's why it's 60-40. The responsibility is 60-40. He messed up for me.
The gap was there.
More than Bottas.
Had he not moved,
the very beginning of the gap was there, but again, sorry, he doesn't have the speed in the car he has. Also, I mean, it's just like was phoned in. He's driving for a team that actually runs a Mercedes engine. Yeah. So it's kind of sister companies, or cousins at least, in the family tree. So no, all this. And again, his reaction at the end. Oh no, sorry, not at the end, but his initial reaction of Bottas wouldn't have done this if it was any other driver. Implying again that they're competing for the same seat at the end of the season. Just didn't come. It's not good. Not good. I understand Toto saying that perhaps he's closer to driving a Clio Cup next year than a Mercedes car.
Yeah, I thought
a Mercedes F1 car.
That was a fucking harsh thing to say, wasn't it?
No, I think the media just jumped on it. He said this as a half truth. Of course, he would never put him on a Clio. Nobody would let him go that far anyway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is just he's a great driver, but at the end of the day, he's his manager as well, right? He's Russell's manager, and at the same time, he's running the team at Mercedes. So he had to, be very clear about his communication. I thought that was genius, actually, what he did. The way he handled it is really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
I think, but, if we go back to the race results now, I think, that puts that issue to bed. It was definitely a racing incident. I don't know if it would have happened in the dry. I think the gap was there. I don't know that Bottas did anything wrong. I don't think he did.
I don't think so.
I think he followed the line because the chicane is directly after there, about 150 meters away, and you've got to start thinking about your line and braking at that stage. And then, it's not right. But if we look at the race results, the thing that's really interesting is, Hamilton really did fight his way back. Had that Bottas-Russell crash not happened, it would have
because he was a lap behind.
It would have been a very different race order. But, I mean, for him to come second after the restart, people sit there and say, oh, wow, what a great thing. And you go, no, but we've seen people do this before. We saw Perez do this even in the last race, starting from last. And where did he finish? 8th or something like that, or 7th?
Well, in Dubai last year, was it Abu Dhabi? Well, whatever. Started in the pits, sort of, and finished first, right? So, it's race, right? Racing, you may have the fastest car during the race, might not mean that you finish first.
Yeah, but I mean, Verstappen, he had a 22-second lead, 22 seconds ahead. So there was no way anybody was going to take that win away from him. And I think Verstappen, we've been saying for a long time that he's a future world champion. And I think this year, because the rule regulation, or the regs just don't favor low rate cars, when they don't favor low rate cars, he's going to have a much easier time fighting against Lewis, because the problem is if Mercedes tries...
Lewis is Lewis.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly the thing. You might not have the fastest car, but when you have the right strategy and the drivers who can execute on those strategies, meaning usually the management of tires, you're golden, right? So Mercedes is genius at this, and Hamilton is at the very apex of the best drivers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue that at all. As I said, my problem with Lewis is he just doesn't shut the fuck up. Like he's a whinger. That's my biggest issue I have with him. But as a driver, I can't argue with his skill.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is,
we're just focusing on this, right? That's what we need to focus on. Yeah. And again, his race was just unbelievable. The mistakes that he did. I mean, again, Russell was in play actually when he tried to overtake Russell as a back marker, and then he went straight into the gravel.
He had a good battle with Norris though.
Yeah, no, that was really good. I mean, again, Norris. I think that's why the media love him, right? He's just he's that really good driver, likable character, right? And it transpires through.
Yeah.
Was really pleased to see both Ferraris 4th and 5th. I mean, seriously, wow. Yeah. And wow, also from Carlos Sainz, I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, he was still 2 seconds behind. Well, 1.5 seconds behind Leclerc, but.
Well, yeah, but 1.5 seconds after all the events that happened.
Yeah, Sainz did fuck up as well. So
yeah.
What's his engineer's name?
I don't remember.
I can't remember, but it's like, you're driving too fast. Slow down. Or calm down. Calm down were his words.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's hard to try and actually recall the race, considering it was 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, what happened again?
Yeah, true. We should do those podcasts, right after, actually. Yeah.
But it was
still fresh in the mind.
Sainz did a good job. I mean, when you actually look at it, Verstappen was 22 seconds ahead of everyone. But then when you look at, right down to 5th, then you have 23 seconds Lando Norris, 24.5. Leclerc,
yeah, when done, this is Ricardo. Yeah, Ricardo is really like far behind his teammate, but still a good race. Solid race from him.
I mean,
Gasly, I thought a fantastic race, despite how bad the strategy was with the AlphaTauri. where they tried to keep him on the wet tires as long as they could. But that's just, I don't know. It was just a little bit, like, okay, let's go with the strategy, and then let's not move, let's not change, let's not adapt, right? That's what I felt. So I felt that Gasly was a bit sacrificed in that race, but still finished 7th, so strong standing there. Lance Stroll also, very good showing. Again, ahead of Vettel.
Who did have a shit luck, though. He had shit luck.
He did have a shit luck, but there's already some rumors that the Hulk will replace him, right?
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, there's some. I don't know. It's like kind of the meme that Hulk is always ready to take everything over, but I don't know. I don't feel that Vettel is in. As much as I would like him to be in, but yeah. I don't remember why the DNF is not his fault as well. I mean, let's be honest, but still.
What happened? Did they pull him out of the race?
Yeah, they did, but I don't remember what for.
Yeah.
I thought it was brakes, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, because he had a brake issue. That's why he started from the pits. But the thing about that is that I find weird is, remember last season, Verstappen crashed in the formation lap, and they were rebuilding his suspension like 2 minutes before the race.
Oh yeah, it was just amazing.
And that's
and Russell also crashed behind the safety car. Remember?
Yeah, and that's where I was sitting there going, "Hang on, didn't Verstappen have his whole front suspension rebuilt during sitting in the starting grid?" And surely he had his wheels off then. So how come Vettel now is wheels off? Unless there was a rule change that I'm not aware of.
Not sure. Anyway, down the order, Esteban Ocon 9th against Fernando Alonso. I mean, yeah, not bad. They finished within 1 second of each other, so Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso. So good, yeah, good to see Ocon in front of Alonso. Again, I'm not sure about Ocon. I'm not sure where we're gonna, where it's gonna go from there.
Hey, they're scoring points, man. These guys are scoring points, so I'm sure they're happy about this as well. I just want to go back to Red Bull and what's the other two? Red Bull and
Perez,
McLaren. It's interesting, when I was talking about low rake, I watched a video from, I think it was WTF1, which pains me to say it, but when we look at the improvements over last year,
they're good. They're just like shitting on Mazepin for no apparent reason. They're just. I think the one thing I regret about the WTF1, is that they just follow whatever the public opinion is. They don't have their own. They used to. Yeah. That's what got them famous and strong. And then now they're just following whatever people are saying. So they're like with Mazepin. I don't know why everybody shits on this guy. I mean, I love the memes. Don't get me wrong. I love the humor around it. It's fantastic and very fun. But at the end of the day, well, okay, no, you have to say he's pretty slow.
Yeah, but
he's like 2 seconds behind.
Well, this is the funny thing. I saw
after the first
there
lap.
was another meme that I saw that I thought was freaking hilarious. So it was something about Gunther Steiner, and he was like, "Oh wow, we're an embarrassment. We finished behind a car that DNF'd." So Sebastian Vettel DNF'd, but still finished in front of Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. By the time the checkered flag came down.
Oh my god. Is that real?
Yeah, look at the Formula One website. The order is 14th is Giovinazzi, 15th is Vettel with a DNF. And then
because he had done 75% of the race or whatever. And then actually, I don't even remember why they DNF'd Vettel.
And then 16th is Mick Schumacher with +2 laps, and then Mazepin with +2 laps. It's hilarious. So, but I'm not gonna. I can't talk shit about Haas at all. Because no, seriously.
No. Just in the same sentence. Think about what you just said.
I know they finished. Both Haas's finished behind a DNF, But the thing that I can't
talk shit about us.
because they just said, like, we're not developing the car.
True, they did say that. They did. Okay, to be fair, they did say that.
So they're like, well, what did you expect? You know, they're just like, we're waiting for the next regulation. So what did you expect?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I can sit there and say about Haas is like, we can't. They were perfectly honest about it.
Yeah. Okay. See, he had a quick repair job on the starting line apparently because it's starting line. Sorry, Vettel did because he had overheating brakes, and then he got a 10-second stop-go penalty because his mechanics failed to have his tires bolted on 5 minutes before the race start.
And that's the problem I have with when I think about last year in Verstappen, where he had his whole front suspension rebuilt 2 minutes before the race.
Yeah, no, that was just amazing. Yeah, but that's Red Bull. You know, it's a different way of managing talent, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know that it's. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, he had a gearbox issue on lap 62 of 63.
Okay, that makes sense. That's why he was DNF'd. But overall, I would say that was a great race. I really enjoyed the race. Yeah, that's it. I enjoyed the race. I thought it was a really good race. There was a lot. It was
a fantastic race, and again, the great equalizer that is wet race, that is rain. I hope we get more of this. Again, we have a very different season because of the way it's planned. So we start early and we finish late. So hopefully we'll have some more races with rain or with unpredictable weather.
And there's like 23 races this year. It's such a huge season.
Yeah, but Canada seems to be cancelled. They might cancel Canada.
But they added Miami. They added Miami, which is interesting.
That's for next year, isn't it? 2022.
Oh, is that? I thought it was
Miami. No, it's for next year, I believe.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So yeah, let's see how the Canada will look like. Again, great race, great to watch. It's for me since the beginning of COVID, and because of the precautions they have, because of the new tracks, because of the, remember they don't have an hour and a half for practice 1 and 2 anymore. They have just an hour for every practice, right? So all of this is, the weather. Again, we go to the track, but not at the same time that we're used to. So temperatures are very different. It's just fantastic, I think, to see that, because it's unpredictable. The teams are taken aback a little bit. They don't have all the data that they can rely on usually to come back to a race, and that is great for us to watch. It's a lot more exciting. It's a lot more unpredictable.
Yeah.
As I said, you may have the fastest car. It doesn't mean that you'll win the championship.
Yeah, very true.
Just race incidents. You saw we had I think it was Bottas who had a long stop also, right? Was this race, right? This front left or front right didn't come off, or something like this.
Was it Bottas or Hamilton? I can't remember. It was Bottas, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the end of the day, a race is not as simple as being the fastest car.
Yeah.
You need the best driver to manage to execute on the strategy that the engineers will have put in place. And then the driver has to also deal with a lot of unpredictability during the race. So,
are we looking forward to Portugal?
Oh yeah, we are.
That's going to be a good race.
That's going to be, let's see. It was a good race last year.
That
so let's
sort
see if
of,
it's going to be
that downhill turn 1. That's such a fucking, that's so good. I love that.
Yeah, it is pretty exciting, isn't it? And it's, one of those historical tracks, I think the old tracks that we abandoned because they were boring are actually now a lot more relevant now that we have the new cars. So all tracks, new cars.
What tracks?
Or all cars.
I don't know why how long, like Imola, like why did they abandon it? It's not because of Senna, right?
Because it's a hard track to overtake on. It's very technical. Yeah, perhaps there was a little bit of the history as well that we didn't want to repeat.
Yeah.
Not sure. But at the end of the day, what I find fantastic is new cars with their speed and everything on all tracks. It's a winning combination, isn't it?
Yeah,
right?
Except Monaco.
I love Monaco. So.
I love Monaco, but it's all about qualifying. It's got nothing to do with the race.
Yeah, but that's when, because you know how much I love qualifying.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, it's the epitome of most races anyway. When you start in the front, you have a better chance, right? Most, not all, obviously, but again, it's just the street circuit, like being that close to the wall all the time if you want to be the best, and building your confidence around those corners. I just love this race. I know it's not very interesting, I agree, but the race itself, but the whole,
I find it, like, I'll be honest, I find Monaco very difficult to drive. It's quick and then it's slow, but like unreasonably slow.
Yeah.
There's no flow in that track. Like, you know how you can flow through corners in a lot of races, and like I would say the most flowy track I love driving, I'll say my favorite track in the world is the Nürburgring GP circuit. That and Spa, probably my two favorite circuits. I find Spa is amazing, right? Like, I think if I ever drive Spa, it's going to put in a new perspective for me. But one thing I find is Spa.
Oh, you will.
Spa, yeah, I know we got that trip planned. But
yeah.
I find Spa, that track is really long.
It's long.
Long. It's really
long.
It's not like Le Mans long, but it is
I love the Nordschleife though. I just love that track. I can, drive that track and I can drive it for hours. I just love it. I don't drive it very fast, but I just love that track. So Spa is another one that I really like, because I like the fact that you can make one mistake, but you can catch it up also, right? It's not like the smaller tracks, you make one mistake, that's it done.
As a race, like, I'm not a racer, I play on a fucking sim rig, but I would say
you're a racer at heart.
Yes, yeah, but I'm a racing enthusiast. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Yes. I would say if you were on a track and you're racing door to door, Spa is great because it gives you so many opportunities to overtake. Because, areas to overtake are after Radion and Eau Rouge, that technical bit with the hairpin, that you hope somebody gets it wrong and then you can snatch them up before you go through those left-handers.
Yeah, you did a few times.
Oh, I fucked that up so bad. But I've taken you a few times there.
No, me. Yeah, you've taken me a few times. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
You've done this a few times.
But you know what it is? It depends on the car. I'm okay with GT cars. I'm good there. When it comes to anything above or below that, I struggle at Spa. There's a particular level of downforce that I'm really comfortable with.
For me, that's the no downforce that I love the most. Yeah. It's all the mechanical grip. It's just coming in and then feeling the car and then accelerating and then just letting it slide a little bit, to take the whole road when you exit corners. I love that so much. I think I got to start driving some of these shitty cars, because I'll be honest, like, we've had this conversation before. I don't care about road cars anymore. Like, people sit there and go, "Oh, look at this," and I've become like an old fuddy-duddy where I'm like, I mean, you and me are like, hold on, you and me are drivers, right? At the end of the day, but we both have drivers day to day, and when I think about road cars, I'm just like, what's the most comfortable big car I can buy that I can just sit in and work?
You know,
Yeah, so
that's me these days.
no, fully.
But then
fully
when it comes to racing, I'm like, get me a shitbox and stick a big engine in it, and
I think I'm gonna get a Ford Mustang here, a 5-liter Mustang.
I would say
That's what I'm gonna get. Because some can drive it from time to time. My wife can drive it from time to time, but essentially, I will buy also the newish, 3 years old, I think, 7 Series.
Yeah.
With the driver, then my driver can take care of my wife. Not in that way, but can drive her around because she commutes a lot more than I do in a day anyway. Because I'm in the office, so I'll drive the.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up doing the same thing with Rada. Like my driver, like he'll probably end up taking her a lot more anyway. I mean, he takes her now in the mornings, but
again. Not in the way you think.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. I don't know.
Although, no.
This has been an expensive year for me, just with moving and just moving. So that comes with a lot of upfront costs.
No, understood. No, I think let's see what happens. There's a few things in the air right now, so let's see what happens. But hopefully a GT 5-liter, which is insanely expensive here. But anyway,
dude, the prices here for them are crazy. Like I looked at one of the, how I went to that Morgan launch. They're called TDA Jakarta, and man, they just got the Bullet in the Mustang Bullet. But the new one, where you've got all the new tech in it, full digital dash and everything, and I'm like, oh, that's so nice. But the problem is it's like double what it would cost anywhere else.
Well, I was just looking at the GT 5-liter, right? The Ford Mustang GT 5-liter, so that's obviously the V8. That costs here new about 190,000 USD.
Fuck. Fucking hell, man.
Shit.
Let me do some maths now.
Yeah, it's 4.8.
Let's see how much this
100.
Let's see how much this Bullet is here.
Sorry, 160. 160.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to the motor show on Sunday. So you went a couple of weeks ago, so I'm gonna go look for a new car
and I went to look at the Ford Mustang.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
But you know what I saw as well is that 330e, that plug-in hybrid 3 Series.
That's pretty good. I like that. I actually really like that.
They're 400 horsepower, 415 horsepower combined.
I quite like that car. I'll be honest. It's nice.
Yeah, the plan is that the 7 Series goes with some Ford Mustang goes with me. My father has a Mustang as well, so
what
it
is
would be
it, a
good.
68 or something?
A 68 GTA Mustang. It looks exactly like the Bullet original one, actually.
But he's got it in like baby blue or something, doesn't he?
He's got it in turquoise.
Yeah.
Which is the original color from the very few of them came out this color. But anyway, regardless of all this, I will start modifying that Mustang, and that's when I'll get that 3 Series. I think as a go-around car, just drive around and just go to the shops, sort of car.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, how about we leave it there? We're looking forward to Portugal. I mean, both of us are really excited because
it's next week.
Well, yeah, and because we've just been playing with this the whole time.
Well, we haven't really together, but
Well, we're going to do it now. We're going to do it now. After this podcast, Shumi, let's jump onto Project Cars. Yeah. Let's play a few rounds. I'm well liquored up.
Project Cars, I'm not too sure we can, but I'll try. I'll try.
I'm well liquored up, so this will be fun.
Okay. Will be. Cheers. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
See you in a couple of weeks again. Hopefully before that.
Yeah, hopefully before that.
And fuck the COVID.
We're off.
Cheers. Bye-bye.